to kind of create a new organization along the way. So it's pretty much how they can come together and how they can start to separate. So this was just one of the examples that I tried, and then on the second one, I tried to
How's the second one and the second? It's a different thing.
no, both are made out of
From the same
that
elements.
from the same animation, first animation that I showed you in the beginning. So this is the second one from the first
Same elements, just different
animation.
configuration.
Yeah, it's the different configuration, exactly. So on this one, it was trying to actually give it an architectural vision that how they can actually start to create architectural spaces, as you know, and also trying to figure out which parts could be fully automated or semi-automated, or the permanent. And then the third one, which was from the second animation, was a totally different approach. I started thinking about, how about really the flexibility of the system and the flexibility of the material. Trying to kind of stay away from the linear way of developing them. Then try to kind of give it a more smoother vision and more degrees of freedom in terms of how they can sort of fold and attach to each other, which is totally different than the actual linear way of the development. So this is another configuration.
These are all done with the same element.
Yes. So this second animation was part of so this second animation was part of that first one. So I just took it out,
But
one
my
side.
question is, like, it's the same piece where the edges fold
Yes,
different
it's
ways,
the same
but it's
piece,
the same.
Yes, it's the same piece. And then the fourth configuration, which is kind of more similar, but it totally created different spaces because the degrees of freedom on folding and rotating was different. So it creates a whole different system this time.
Looks kind of like the previous one. That's okay.
And then the last one. And this one, it was really about, since it was the last one, it was really creating more realistic space versus where it can be on the human scale, and the actual human can actually live in it with the same concept of having the flexibility.
This is what the way to talk 3D. Alright. I feel like finally we made some progress. Away from the Lego blocks and away from I think it's beautiful. Maybe what you want to do is you still kind of have this element and then you keep repeating it. You have like you showed us like 5 different scenarios, and not 5 what happens if you would take the 5 different scenarios and put it into one scenario?
Okay.
So like it's kind of morphs from one condition, 5 different states. So it's not like, because I can see it repetition here as well, right? It's a way, it's another way, another way. It doesn't have to be like this, right? Because if it can do all these 5 different things in the same element, it can be, more horizontal and it becomes more vertical.
So it should be different.
So that I think would be the next step now to show how this sort of transforms through different possibilities. And the question is, now of course the question is the scale of these elements. Are there enough folds in them, or too many? I don't think they're too many. Are they in the right place? Now you can maybe modify. But I think the first thing would be to try this thing and have a kind of varied application of its possibilities. So that, that's basically, in other words, kind of to take your 5 scenarios instead of showing us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, shows 1 with all 5 in it. So it doesn't look like I'm repeating this element next to each other. It looks so that will be the next step. Right? And then look at scale, size, and if this is occupiable, what happens to the openings? Are you missing maybe another piece that can accommodate the in-between, or can the same piece, for example, in a different material, transparent, translucent material, opaque material, could you create variation through the same piece but just to different material? That would be beautiful. I think a huge leap forward. I'm very happy to see this. It looks great. I think now you just need to basically sort of begin to own it and occupy it and kind of really, let us sort of experience how it would be, what it's like to be inside, how this becomes an architecture, which is not just open surfaces, but potentially code. And I'm sure you have it, I'm sure it's possible, and, but there may be other pieces you may need to design. I'm missing. But it's not,
Yeah, I would totally agree. I think this is the first time that I think that's you've kind of gotten this sweet spot between the kind of deceptively simple intelligence of a couple of actions or a couple of degrees of freedom, but also then instead of undermining that intelligence, how you try to organize and populate. You work with the intelligence that you set up in the object. So yeah, for me, great.
Well, I'd love to
hopefully, oh no, I was going to say because hopefully it proves to you, right, that not everything always has to be everything.
Well, I'd love to see it on this, like one way you do it, different folds, and now you try to match it with another one, that all the joints are kind of, so like, it's not like one panel and here's another panel, but 2 panels become a larger panel. Because they actually meet. So as you have joints in one panel, the seaming to the next panel could be exactly the same kind of joint. Right? You can have a robotic connection that suddenly makes them into one larger panel. Right? So right now I see like you have panels next to each other, on top of each other. But what if they seamlessly meet and form a new larger panel? That's why it's so you begin to lose the gap between pieces. If you want, not everyone can do that. Sometimes it's desirable, but sometimes it's desirable to not have a gap. And that's to show what that would, basically to do them, and then you start, folding them and see what you can do. And that may also tell you at some point, well, maybe this panel needs to actually have slightly different geometry or to accommodate this kind of stuff. Right? So that's, I think, where some design work has to be required. But I'm glad to find a bit of this sort of, what I love about this? I can almost see, this is so simple, the panel is so simple, that I could see an iPhone app with which you can design code. Fold this edge here, fold it there. Right? Take this panel, put it next to another panel. Right? It's kind of, the idea strikes me as being so beautifully simple that you could build you could design an entire building from a simple panel by just moving things around.
through it, it reads your phone, right? It reads your own signal, and then like, makes slight adjustments, as you move through it. So like, that's one of those kind of, I think like brown shaping, comments in the, the thesis, right? Or like also you said, okay, like this is, the object finally got to a point where it's legible enough, and we're going to make like new real suggestions off it, which don't have to completely cause a restart in the object, but instead can provide a whole new level of thinking, of it, like how it gets set up, like because it's just like I don't know, like I think that I don't know, may I just like pontificate for a second. I think everyone should sort of take note of just what in your own way. Because like this project, if you don't mind me saying so, it's taken about 3 months to just get it to be simple enough to be interesting.
Right.
I mean, would you agree?
Yeah.
It's like it's like
That's exactly
yeah,
what
yeah.
I was talking about this. You had all these boxes, and all of a sudden it's like just like a piece of plywood. And it's just a piece of plywood with a couple of joints in this. What have to do? That is beautiful. And it doesn't have to be, this kind of overarching heavy geometry to begin with. Simplicity is.
Yeah.
And really, to understand more of this, each piece functions and the functions between two pieces, the program really helps, and really getting to know how to use the program. Like I started working with bringing the IK handles and the joints with smooth binding to the surface, and how it can start deforming the surface. I was really not successful with that, but I'll need your help for that.
Well, just like one quick thing, so that just that good work doesn't get undone. Like I also want to, positively note, the way that it's not faceted, but it's also not smooth, right? In the classic sense of like, one person wants to do a faceted project, another person wants to do a smooth project, aka like a nerves.
Although I started to smooth it, but I wanted control to be there.
Right, and that's all I'm pointing out, and so like don't misunderstand this comment and change it. I'm saying like you did a good thing there where you said I sort of what I'm asking for people, but not swing the pendulum like one way or the other in the project, just sort of say like I need a kind of faceted for this object to work. Yet I don't want it to be a bunch of triangles, like so you sensitively go and start to figure out ways to to model the kind of the kind of vacuum form, kind of like soft faceting. So that's really good, and that it matters to the project that you hit on that sort of sweet spot, and so it's starting to perform. Hopefully you can go a lot farther with it. Look, I think we're talking about can one run of these, right? Have a number of different conditions happening, across an axis, like for starters, and then I need to really think about what the implications of of it being made off of your phone, possibly reading your phone as you go through it, right? So we've been talking a long time about the robotic surgery, but also it just came back like in a fresh way that makes sense to the project, right? Live, making live of meetings. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Time's up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Rob, you